So you heard it here. The U.S. is worse than North Korea.
No, that's original. Gazi Kodzo is such a strong communist that he's willing to support Kim Jong-un. Say, Gazi, if you so solemnly like North Korea, why don't you go live there? I did a video on Gazi Kodzo a while back, but I didn't learn much about him until after his ranting about Trump's comments. I also learned that his nickname is Black Hitler. But I have to say the name suits him quite well when you look at how he dresses himself in one of his older photos. Like, this guy genuinely thinks that he is a communist dictator and presents himself that way. Imagine if he applied for a job and used this photo in his CVs as well as writing communist dictator as his work experience. I'm sorry. I just had to laugh it off. But after laughing at some of his older videos, I noticed one where we can really see the dark side of his stupidity. He is so oblivious to the evils of communism that he joins Marxist radicals in their crusade that North Korea is truly a utopia. So come on, Black Hitler, put white people in labor camps and indoctrinate them with your little PSA.
Aquaria, y'all, it's me, Gazi Kodzo, the cutest and your favorite revolutionary. Y'all know that I am a big fan of The View. I love watching problematic white nationalist liberals argue with a problematic white nationalist conservative. Oh my god, it's so different. So I want to discuss this episode that I saw about them talking about, the Trump and Korean deal with my comrade Kim Jong-un. Hey, Kim Jong-un, it's me, Gazi. I don't know if y'all have internet there, but...
Again, I can never understand why people in communist movements continue to live in the West. Again, a plane ticket is waiting just for you. Head on over to the land of the free hermits.
Okay, let's watch the clip really quickly. Okay, let's go. Okay, wait, before you watch it though, let me frame it for you real quick, okay? They're talking about North Korea, which is really the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is the liberated sector of Korea that has not, bent to the will of white power, U.S. imperialism. Okay, Meghan McCain is the daughter of the man that lost, the president election in 2008, and he crashed his plane somewhere in, Vietnam, got his ass beat, and he's still trucking with Lil Merc. So she's on there, right? And then you got Sunny, who is this petty bourgeois, upper middle class lawyer woman that went to Harvard, black woman that thinks she know everything, so she's coming for that ass, and she's like, how is Trump supposed to care about what's going on in Korea when he doesn't care about what's going on right here? How are you supposed to care about human rights? Okay, so I framed it for you, so here, watch.
Okay, so this is a long clip about your usual TV debates, and Gazi already summarized everything, so let's move on to his reaction.
Megan, sweetie, it is kind of irritating, really irritating, for you as a white cave Becky, privileged, upper class, part of the white ruling class, white woman, to sit there and tell African people and that African woman, Sunny, that we do not understand that these are two different things, what's going on, what you think is going on in the DPRK versus what is going on in the United Snakes of America, okay?
Well, doesn't that mean that Kanye and Chris Brown are also privileged since they're upper class? I mean, hey, you said it, not me.
To say, no, it's completely different. There's enslavement, there's mass incarceration, there's attacks by dogs, people are being shot and killed. You do understand everything you're saying, niggas been through, niggas is going through right now.
Oh wow, he wants to compare black people being arrested in the United States to atrocities in North Korea. You see, Gazi, maybe the African American community should do more to stop their people from committing crimes. How can you not expect the police to get involved when they instigate stuff like this, and this, or this? But as you know, most police officers don't just go around attacking black people for no reason. It's because more violent cases have African Americans involved. In North Korea, you have no freedom of speech, no freedom of religion, and no ability to choose your own path or career in life. If you commit a crime, your entire family goes to prison along with you. And most incarcerated people there are there for political reasons, because they spoke out against the government or didn't agree with something. If you think that's better than the US, you really need to rearrange your priorities. I'm actually embarrassed to say something like this, which is quite obvious, but hey, it's like talking to a walrus in German. Gazi will never understand what I'm telling him.
And then you want to talk about rate of America. Let's not talk about how many pigs come into our communities raping African men and women and children and get away with it.
When exactly has a rape epidemic engulfed the African American community and it being caused by white people?
You want to talk about forced abortion? Let's talk about all the African women being pushed into prison and then being injected with sterilization.
Again, you provide no references to your claim. However, you clearly overlook the actual forced abortion happening to North Korean women in Ghazi's fairyland.
Let's talk about all these African women that are forced to give birth to babies in prison, and those babies are taken away from them and put into the system.
You're okay with children being raised in prison? This guy has lost his mind. And children only go to social services if there is no family to care for them. In North Korea, they either kill children or force them to grow up in prison camps in the worst possible conditions.
Let's talk about these child protective services going into African communities and kidnapping children on a daily basis.
And again, he has no proof for a ridiculous claim. He must really long for Kim Jong-un's fairyland.
The only difference in what you are laying out that you are supposing that the DPRK does to their people and what Sonny's actually saying, what we know is being done to African people here in the United States government, we're niggas. And I guess you're trying to say that you don't give a damn about niggas. But U.S. imperialism doesn't give a damn about Koreans either.
Oh really? Even though 38,000 U.S. troops died during the Korean War defending South Korea and have kept a sizable military force there ever since.
When the U.S. government carpet bombed Korea, do y'all know what carpet bombing is? It's when you line up some planes and just bomb everything. They bombed Korea. The U.S. government bombed Korea so badly during the Korean War that the generals were complaining, saying that they have nothing else to bomb. And guess what the U.S. government told those generals? Bomb everything that has a shadow. Bomb, bomb, bomb. And the U.S. killed 1 out of every 4 Koreans.
Just as I suspected, Ghazi doesn't know history. I would love to see him attend a public quiz and embarrass himself in front of everyone. Let's recap. First, it was North Korea that invaded South Korea back in June 1950. They intended to force South Koreans under their rule, and they killed civilians and soldiers alike, with no discrimination between them whatsoever, such as the National University Hospital massacre in Seoul or the shooting of sailors who had gone overboard during the October 1950 battles. Yes, UN forces committed war crimes such as the Sinchon massacre, as all wars go. Sadly, all wars have their war crimes. But fellow North Korea here far outpaces the US or South Korea in this field. Kind of like a pot calling the kettle black in this scenario.
And the US government didn't give a damn about Koreans when they empowered a Southern Korean dictator who tortured activists, who tortured protesters, who would literally tie ropes to their hands and feet into cars and rip them apart, who murdered them in front of masses of people, who literally galvanized people in stadiums just to watch masses of people being murdered. This is someone that the US government put into power. If you don't believe me, you can Google his name, Syngman Rhee.
Oh, the irony. He's going to call the South Korean leaders for being dictators while turning a blind eye to all the lovely atrocities of Kim Il-sung, such as purges against dissidents, creating prison camps which still exist today, abducting foreign nationals from Japan or South Korea, creating a ruthless class system, public executions, forced disappearances, and even establishing a cult of personality that destroys opposition to this day. Nothing says fair government like 70 years of the same family ruling, eh, Ghazi?
Colonized people and colonizers do not share the same freedoms of America, okay?
Is that so? Because South Korea began improving since the 1980s. It's now one of the wealthiest nations in the world with really good living standards and one of the least corrupt. It must really be opposite day for Ghazi.
Your freedoms are at the expense of African people. Let's talk about gentrification. Let's talk about food deserts in the African community that is pushed on by redlining and by these mayors and by the politicians every day. Let's talk about the heightening of rent, of utilities and everything happening in the African community to push us out.
Well, none of that is the fault of the government. It's all the fault of people like you who do nothing but complain and only want things for free. The fat guy in Joyner Lucas's video explains it well.
Where without people pointing fingers, pants hanging off your ass, you ain't got no home training, put your fucking pants up, nigga. Put that suit back on, take that do-rag off, take that gold out your mouth, quit the pitiful stuff, and then maybe police and stop killing you fucks. So what the fuck?
DPRK doesn't have an inch of blood compared to the mountains, the oceans of blood that is dripping from the US flag. So you heard it here, the US is worse than North Korea. But US imperialism is in crisis. That's why Trump is going to shake the hands of a dictator and somebody that is a hermit leader. And as African people, we have to take this crisis of imperialism and we have to attack it while it is falling, okay? So make sure to go to apspuhu.org, learn more about becoming a revolutionary in the community that you live in right now. And I want to invite everybody that is watching that wants to be free to come to the 7th Party Congress in St. Louis, Missouri, October 6th to October 12th.
Wow, he really does sound like a communist dictator by the way he tries to indoctrinate people. This is just like the televised footage of North Korea's state-run media that you see in memes here on YouTube. So people, let's start a fundraiser. Let's earn up enough money to buy Black Hitler a plane in North Korea and watch him become Kim Jong-un's propaganda minister. He'll be in new memes for the entire internet to see, and who knows, maybe he'll be in the sequel to the movie The Interview.